Back at Homestead-Miami Speedway, under caution in the Ford 400, we saw the lead lap cars pit. When the cars a lap or more down came in, there were some anxious moments. Top of the screen, watch Johnny Benson. See where Jeff Gordon's coming past? There it is. Watch as Benson leaves his pit. He's going to get the right rear corner of Derek Cope's car. Wow.
He actually hit the tire. He never hit Cope's car, but he hit one of the tires that was laying there. Now watch over here to your right in the 18 car. Serious fire.
During the refueling process, something went wrong.
And we can see one of the gas men or something, tire change, one of those guys.
Probably spilled some gasoline on his arm or something, and it caught fire. What's going on down there, Matt?
Wally, definitely a scary moment in the 18 pit. It was gas man Peter Gellin. He had the helmet on, some spray with the exhaust ignited, a little bit of burned hair, but he did have the helmet on. His arm was also, the fire suit did its job. That was on fire because of the spilled gasoline. He's sitting in a garage behind pit road talking to safety personnel. He is talking to J.D. Gibbs. He seems to be okay, but he is talking to the safety personnel. He walked back under his own power, so that is the good news, but a very scary moment here in the 18 pit. We'll update with further information as we get it.
And we saw Al Schufert, the trainer for Canassi, go down to offer any assistance he might be able to give.
He used to work for Joe Gibbs Racing. And there is the coach.
Well, they were on top of that fire pretty quick. That was good to see.
Yeah. And Peter Gellin is one of the truly nice guys inside the NASCAR Winston Cup garage area.
There are safety personnel, firemen, stationed in all of these pit areas with fire extinguishers at the ready when the cars go to work. It's part of the massive, massive safety operation that it takes to stage one of these races. All the spectator side, the competitor side, there are just so many people involved in making this happen. Marty.
Remember we talked, Alan, about why teams did not take two tires, especially Mark Martin, who had really nothing to lose. He was trying to radio to his crew, I want to take two tires, but there was so much radio traffic he couldn't get anyone to lay off their button long enough so he could pipe in and say, hey, let's take two tires on the stop with nothing to lose. They only had 14 laps, green flag laps on the left sides and the right side, so they thought now they should have taken two tires. We'll see if it does indeed hurt them.
Yep. That's good stuff, Marty, because I'm surprised they didn't take two for the track position either.
6 teams did. Joe Nemechek, Jimmy Johnson, Rusty Wallace, Matt Kenseth, Jeff Burton,
green flag.
Jimmy Spencer. Then you've got Michael Waltrip next in line.
Wow. Jeff Gordon on the inside of Nemechek. The 24 car is a lap down, and Kenseth way up the racetrack in 1 and 2.
Oh, contact. Benson and Rusty Wallace there. Rusty saves it. And look at this.
They're still trying to wreck.
Somebody's up in the wall or close to it. Is that Jeff Burton?
Yeah, 99 car is off the pace. This is where things get ticklish if you're Mark Martin or Tony Stewart.
There's Jeff Burton. Maybe he didn't hit anything, but
and the 30 car is very slow off turn 4 in front of the field. Look at all these cars trying to dodge Jeff Green.
Tony Stewart.
We do not have a flat. We do not have a flat.
And Mark Martin was way off the pace going into turn 3. He's dropped several positions in this last. Looked like he was just being careful. He's dropped back toward the end of the lead lap cars. And now he's trying to move. Mark is one of those guys way down at the bottom of the track. Look at this. What a mess. Okay, Tony Stewart is 11th. Check Mark Martin. He is 18th. Having just gotten by Bobby Hamilton, now Mark is 17th. He tiptoed his way into turn 3 on that restart, swung to the bottom of all those cars, and then started passing them all. So he just did not want to be on the outside. What do you think? Shall we regroup and show all this again?
Man, I'd like to see it again.
To see it again.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty exciting stuff.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, there we go in the corner, 3 wide.
Let's see.
Kenseth gets a little boot from the 99 car of Jeff Burton, and Burton backs off the gas to avoid hitting him and has trouble getting back on the throttle up in that high line.
Well, both of these guys have a lot of rubber and debris on their tires right now, so it's hard to get back up to speed quickly.
So Jeff Gordon, tail end of the lead lap in front of leader Joe Nemechek. Let's check back for 9th place. Matt Kenseth and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Remember Earnhardt Jr. leading this race earlier, but got 4 tires on his stop, and a lot of guys who only took 2 are now in front of him. Kevin Harvick with just the right side tires on that pit stop.
As we saw yesterday, it looked like in the Busch race, the guys that took 2 could maintain their speed for about the first 30 or 40 laps, but then the guys that took 4 just gobbled them up. So it's going to take a while for the 4 tire change, I think, to really show.
And we heard the report from Marty earlier. That would have been an ideal spot for the 6 team to try and take the 2 tires.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really don't understand why they didn't try to do that. Well, again, he said, let's do it. But all the guys were talking on the radio. He couldn't get that in. And the crew thinking he wanted 4 tires. That's what they did. And Jeff Green, we saw him slow. He thought he had a flat tire. But once he got his car back up to speed, it does seem to be okay now. He did not make a pit stop.
Earnhardt Jr. and Kenseth, 9th place here. And Kevin Harvick in front of them in 8th. Remember last weekend at Phoenix, Matt Kenseth took just 2 tires on a late pit stop at lap 264. 312 made up that race. He set the fastest lap of the race on just 2 tires just after that restart.
There's Rusty Wallace trying to get by Michael Waltrip for 5th position. I'll tell you what, if Rusty Wallace wins this race, we'll see the greatest burnout of mankind.
Yeah.
He'll melt all the rear tires, both rear tires.
There's Rusty's gap up to leader Joe Nemechek. A lot at stake for Rusty today. Not only the streak that he's talked so much about, but again, he's locked in that tight fight for 3rd in the championship. He could finish as high as 3rd. He could fall as low as 8th at the end of the day. So things have settled out a little bit since that restart. Tony Stewart running in 11th position now. And Mark Martin is just a little bit behind him in 17th and trying to catch the 22 car of Ward Burton for another position. It's all going on behind Joe Nemechek, leading Jimmy Johnson by 1.9 seconds, 87 of 267 laps complete. From Homestead, Florida, it's the Ford 400 on NBC.
NBC's coverage of the Ford 400 is brought to you by Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Burn fat, crush cravings, and supercharge your energy. By Walmart, always low prices, always. By UPS, official delivery company of NASCAR. We want to race the truck. People love the truck. And by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers.
The race for the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship ongoing at Homestead-Miami Speedway in Florida. Joe Nemechek leads the Ford 400. Trouble, turn 2. Michael Waltrip is in the wall. Martin and Stewart made it through. And the caution flag is out.
Jeff get his lap back.
Looks like Ryan Newman also. Did Ryan Newman get a lap back as well?
They are going to check the camera at the start-finish line, Benny, the photo finish camera to see. But Jeff Gordon definitely did. So that puts 23 cars on the lead lap, possibly a 24th.
Our computers are saying for Newman, but we'll see what the camera shows us.
Computers being the telemetry scoring with the radio transmitters on each of the cars.
He's got a left front down. I don't know if he did that from locking the brakes up before he hit the wall or...
Michael Waltrip,
everything's flat.
Yeah, Michael finished 2nd in this race a year ago. Thought he had a pretty good car for today. Not going to work out. Leaders coming to pit road.
Maybe a little nudge from the 40 car.
Yeah, looks like Jamie McMurray might have gotten into him back in the middle of the corner. And not good. Not good. It's a wonder we don't see more of that.
See all that debris up there? All that rubber and dirt?
All right. Hasn't been long since the last set of pit stops. Who'll get two this time, Dave?
Alan, it won't be Matt Kenseth, last week's winner. They will get four. Car's still a little bit loose, so they'll make another track bar adjustment. Take some air pressure out of the right rear. Marty?
And it won't be Mark Martin either, Dave. They're going to go with 4 tires again. They're gaining on it. He said the car is still a little bit tight, but I like what we're doing. 1 round to wedge in, Matt.
The leader, Nemechek, is in, and he is out of 2-tire change. They were going to go for 4. Joe Nemechek made the call himself. Bill.
Tony Stewart on pit road, a little snug in the center, make a small chassis adjustment. Again, they thought about 2 tires. Zipadelli said 4. Stewart said, I'm not going to disagree with you. Conservative early here, he's on his way.
Nemechek, Rusty Wallace, Greg Biffle, I believe Earnhardt Jr. and Dale Jarrett all just got 2 tires and got off pit road very quickly. Harvick, I think, as well. So let's take a break. They're cleaning up after Michael Waltrip's crash out in turn number 2. We're coming up on 150 miles in the Ford 400 at Homestead-Miami Speedway. NASCAR on NBC live at Homestead-Miami Speedway for the Ford 400, where the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship will be decided. Under caution after Michael Waltrip's crash in turn 2, he and Jamie McMurray racing for a spot there. And everybody off pit road with Joe Nemechek hanging on to the lead. A number of teams getting just right side tires on their stops. Let's check downstairs with Marty Snyder.
Alan, with this being the last race of the season and Ford Championship weekend, we thought it appropriate to make this week's Ford No Boundaries a segment about all of the 2002 Blue Oval winners. What sophomore jinx for Kurt Busch? The kid came in, won 3 races for Ford, took the back-to-back wins at Martinsville and Atlanta as well. Also, you got to talk about the freshman phenom Ryan Newman. Dale Jarrett also took his car to victory lane at Pocono and Michigan, bringing his career total to 30 wins. Of course, Mark Martin, who won the race at Charlotte in the Noble $1 million bonus, and also is in contention for the championship. And who can forget Matt Kenseth leads the entire series with 5 wins. Of course, Greg Biffle also won the Busch Series championship, and Ford has already won the Manufacturers Championship in Winston Cup. Yeah, I think it's been a pretty good year for the Ford guys, Alan.
I'd say so. Matt Kenseth's Ford, winner 1 week ago. Rusty Wallace running second in his Ford now. Joe Nemechek paces the Ford 400. They're cleaning up some of the debris, so we'll take a break and be back for the restart.